back to Miss Cindy's Kitchen. I'm going to show you how to make a quick pear crisp. And I decided to make this because I have a lot of oats on hand and a lot of canned pears. So it calls for 10 cups of fresh diced pears. However, that's a lot of work. So I'm going to use the canned pears that I have on hand. So this is 8 15 ounce, 14 ounce, whatever size a standard can of pears is, of pears minus the liquid that they came in. I cut them into pieces. They were wedges. Anyway, so we got those cut up. So I'm going to put them into a mixing bowl. So that's about 8.5, almost 9 cups of canned pears. So if you have a lot of canned fruit, this is a good way you can use that up. Because I'm sure this would work just swimmingly well with peaches as well as pears. So anyway, to the pears, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of regular sugar. All right, so 1/2 cup of regular sugar, and we're going to need a tablespoon of flour to go in the filling. So in this recipe, the flour is listed both as 1 cup and 1 tablespoon divided, because 1 tablespoon goes in the filling and 1 cup will go in the topping. And we have 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon going into the filling. And then we'll have 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. So 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon. And then the nutmeg. It was right in front of me. There it is.
Right there.
Okay. You can see it from your perspective. Okay, so that was 1/4 teaspoon. I don't want to get too much nutmeg because it can be pretty powerful. Nutmeg is kind of like ginger, and then it's a great baking spice, but it can be a little much sometimes. Let me grab a spatula to stir. And we're going to just toss this to mix it all up. It sounds slurpy. So kind of like we added flour to the filling of our peach pie, we needed to add flour to this filling because that helps thicken up the juices and make a sauce inside the Pear Crisp. So, and then this is a 9x13 pan, and the recipe didn't indicate whether or not to grease the pan, but to be on the safe side, I decided to go ahead and just spray it with some baking and pan spray. So we can do that, and now we're going to mix the topping. So I'm going to put this in the sink. It's always good to tidy up as you go. It makes life a lot easier in the end. And I'm going to grab something to mix up the topping with. So make sure we can all see here. So we're going to have 1 cup of flour. So it's 1 cup of regular flour. And then we're going to use 1 cup of quick oats. And I keep the box of oats taped shut because that just keeps it clean and dry in the cabinet and avoids any unpleasant surprises.
You use quick oats?
Quick oats, yeah. It says quick oats is preferable, but if you prefer a chewier crisp topping, you can use the rolled oats. But we got a lot of quick oats on hand, so why not? So, and then for the sweetener in this, 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And when you measure brown sugar, you always want to pack it. So, just going to scoop this up and just pack it. Dump it in there. And then for the spices in this, it actually does, we don't put spices in this, but we put in 1/4 teaspoon each baking powder and baking soda. And I'm going to wipe the nutmeg off of this so I don't cross-contaminate the baking powder. So, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And there's that. And then I'm going to mix this together. And then I'm going to add in the melted butter. So it's 1 stick of melted butter. And right now I'm breaking up the brown sugar. Because no matter how tightly brown sugar is packaged and contained, for some reason it chooses to be clumpy. And I think it's because our weather has been so moist. It's getting into everything. We live in a desert climate where it's average 30% humidity, mostly in the 20s. Now we have been at 60 to 90% for days because of back-to-back storms. So, I'm gonna mix that, and then this sauce pot does not have insulated handles. So, to avoid burning myself a second time tonight, I'm going to take this melted butter, 1/2 cup of melted butter. You can melt it in the microwave. Our microwave has elected not to work anymore. With our busy family of 5, it just called it quits after Christmas.
It just packed up and retired. And moved
Pretty
out.
much. Well, it didn't move out. It's still stuck there. But I'm going to use this dough whisk to kind of blend, because it kind of works like a pastry blender. So I can blend up the crumb topping and get it all loosened and separated.
It's a little clumpy and very lumpy.
That sounds like some people. Lumpy and clumpy. that sounds like twin cartoon characters. Clumpy and Lumpy.
Or
Anyway.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
So while I'm mixing this, don't forget to like and subscribe and share to your friends. And give me your feedback if you have any ideas for different recipes you'd like me to try or questions about the ones I have made. Let me know. And now we are going to put this on top of the pears. So again, this called for 10 cups of fresh diced pears, which requires a lot of peeling and chopping.
It looks good already.
Yeah.
And it's not even cooked.
Exactly. So we're going to spread out the filling. And then for this I used 8 cans of sliced pears, which I cut into pieces that are roughly about 1 inch a piece. So the pieces are 1 inch a piece. I guess that makes sense.
So for anybody who has a question, what is that tool called?
This is a Danish dough whisk. And during the pandemic, everybody was baking and all kinds of cool tools were advertised. And I thought, you know what? This is really good for heavy doughs, like when I made the clementines. It just has, it breaks up dough and it's really good for lift and heft.
Yeah, the end will look like it's straight from a Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably was designed by somebody who liked Dr. Seuss. Anyway, so this goes in a 350-degree oven, 45 minutes. And once it is done, we will show you what it looks like in its golden goodness. And then after it cools, we'll come back for a taste test. So we'll be back with you soon. All right. And our Pear Crisp is done. Nice and golden brown and bubbly. So bring it over. So there's that. Alright, let me get a spoon so we can scoop it up and try it out. Got crumb in my throat here. Alright. So it's a nice steaming hot Pear Crisp. Look at that.
That looks good.
Did you get a nice view of the dessert here? Put some into a dish. Somehow the song Hot Stuff is going through my head. Isn't that because we just watched the biography of Donna Summer. I was thinking of Diana because we were talking about Greek gods and goddesses earlier. Anyway, so that is the Pear Crisp and some forks. So you all can try. See what you think.
Ooh, I get the purple bowl.
Logan, do you want me to hold the camera so you can take a taste too? Or do one at a time here?
It is hot.
If only we had some whipped cream or some ice cream to go on it.
Very good. It is hot, so.
Well, you can sit it down and let Logan take his taste.
Very good. So, I'm going to take the camera. Have it on. This your Logan.
Woohoo. Also got to blow on because it is
hot.
extremely hot.
Having some hot stuff for dessert tonight. All right.
Yeah, it was really good.
It is really good.
So it's a good way to use up the tons and tons of canned pears we had in our pantry. So anyway, thank you again for joining us. And please like and subscribe and share to your friends and come back again for our next video.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, and neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.